Guys, Louie here, and a thought crossed my mind the other day, and that was in regard to it was right after Sal's video about rhodium and its rapid increase and escalation, as has palladium done that as well, and it got me thinking that these exponential moves, whether it be Bitcoin or rhodium or perhaps even silver, um, are possible. And it made me then think, well, what would I do? I'd have to, if the price of silver went, okay, and I know this is crazy, but let's think for a second what could happen, right? I mean, we've all seen Venezuela. We know what's going on in the world. Anything can happen. So let's say that the price of silver one day became $3,000. Okay, I'm just picking a number because, in this situation, $3,000 would likely also be the cost of a meal, right? A meal out or something, because the currency would need to be you'd need more of it to combat the inflation. But let's say that, for argument's sake, that silver was now $3,000 an ounce, and you had to cash it in. And I was thinking, as I was responding to a friend about why I don't have American Silver Eagles, I've just bought my first tube, and that is because in the 5 or 6 years I've been stacking, I found semi-numismatics to be a better holding, because I could buy and sell them and sometimes make upwards of 40% profits, as I did, adding that money to the stack. And I was doing that with kookaburras, and I was doing that with libertads, and I was doing that with some Britannias. But as a result, a lot of my stack is collector coins, like the kooks and the libs. And then I certainly also have a lot of poured silver, but that's not something I'm anxious to trade in. But clearly that would be the weight. Go for the weight value, I guess, if we were in a $3,000 an ounce scenario. But then I thought, well, what would we do, those of us that have collector coins? How much of your stack would or could you sell? All right, and for those with American Silver Eagles, that's 100%. You're done. You could probably do that in 30 minutes and have your check for $3,000 or $3 million, right? Then you'd have to run out and go buy a lawnmower with it, because it probably wouldn't be worth that the next day. But if we were cashing in and you had all these collector coins, what the heck would you do with them? You wouldn't put them on eBay at $3,036 or something. I guess all your collector coins would become bullion if you needed to convert that to cash. So just some food for thought. I don't know, have you ever thought about what percentage of your stack needs to be pure bullion? Because let's say you have to feed your family. Let's say the dollar is kaput, and whatever, you just the silver is going to get cashed in. How much of your stack is enough to feed your family, right? Or to keep the utilities on, or I'm not sure, what the scenario would be, but would you want half of it to be Silver Eagles or generic bullion? Would you like, 60% of it, 90% of it? There's a place for collector coins, but in this scenario that I've laid out, it's really hard to identify them. And by the same token, that 65 Mustang, you got the very same problem. People will be knocking each other in the head, and it'll be transportation, not a rare collectible. So all collections kind of cease to be relevant, I think, in times like that. So I've droned on long enough, but how much of your stack is got to be in bullion, ASEs, or other low premium silver? And I know you guys are definitely going to be all over this question. Okay, I'll talk to you later.